So this is a really exciting um episode of us playing Invaders 2015 with the Whitewater Gallery, not just because we have Lindsay from Artfix, but we kind of have something a little experimental happening in our Discord. So right now we are streaming from our community gathering voice and video channel. So if you're currently a member of our Discord, you can actually join this stream. We will ban you forever if you do like remotely anything inappropriate. And we have a bit of delay on the stream, so we do have a chance to shut things down. But we'd like to have a really awesome time and play a really cool video game. And we're asking folks to join us and try this weird experiment. So if you do end up joining that voice channel, you are consenting to the stream as well as the recording. Will get posted on our YouTube later because we're not yet an affiliate. But help us get followers so we can become a Twitch affiliate because that would be really cool. Um, so I'm gonna stop talking a little bit, and I'm gonna introduce or let Lindsay introduce herself rather from Artfix. So I'll just let you introduce yourself.
Cool. Thanks, Ricky. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. Uh, so thanks for inviting me to do this. I have Invaders already up on my laptop here. I'm ready to go. Got a little practice in. We'll see how I do. Wouldn't hold my breath. Um, I'm Lindsay Sullivan, and I'm the art training program coordinator for Art Fix of Nipissing, which is an arts for social change collective working with folks with lived experience of mental health and substance use. Um, and yeah, so we have like an open studio. I don't know if you're gonna ask questions, but I'll just give a little sneak peek. We have an open studio online on Zoom on Thursdays 3:30 to 5:30, and before all of this COVID, we were actually at the Whitewater Gallery, and folks could come to the Whitewater, and there was just lots and lots of art supplies that folks could come and use and access or bring a project from home for open studio. So that's been going on for years, actually. And yeah, in Artfix, I mean, it's was founded by Serena Katioka and uh, Amanda Weckworth a number of years ago, and I'm just really excited to be part of it. To tell you the truth, so there's exhibitions that happen through ArtFix, and there's been a storytelling events almost every year, a zine, kind of like, done a bunch of stuff over the years. So yeah, we're a collective of artists with lived experience.
Cool. Super appreciate that little background about yourself and the collective, and I will totally be asking you a whole bunch of questions about the different things that you have upcoming during the
Cool.
pandemic. But we also need to start the game.
Okay.
So I'm just going to introduce our online programming, which is Invaders, developed by Elizabeth Leponce in 2015 from the original Space Invaders game, which is now available to play on the Whitewater Gallery website, uh, which you can find right here.
Cool.
So, this was built in Unity, which is a cross-platform game engine. And the art was developed by Stephen Paul Judd, and the music, which is really cool, by Trevino Brings Plenty. Um, I highly suggest going to the link and getting into the game to hear the music yourself. I have it turned down quite low because it's really loud in my headphones. But I encourage you to check it out. So 2 weeks ago, we had Alejandro and his social media team from the Indigenous Friends app who have the current high score of 55,000. Um, and while I have a lot of confidence in myself, I feel like my approach today is that it's a game and whatever happens is okay. So that's the attitude that I'm going into today. So I have the game already loaded in this other window, so I'm gonna just start getting into it. Are you ready to go, Lindsay?
I'm ready. I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, let's do this.
I'm really excited to play for real. Okay. Should
Okay.
I press play?
Oh, do it. I already started.
Okay. Ah. Okay.
It's like you gotta kind of ease into it. Remember how it goes.
Okay.
So have you been practicing?
I tried to the other day and I wasn't successful, so I got about maybe 2 minutes of practice in today. And when it first came out, I tried it too. I mean, when the Whitewater Gallery first announced it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've already says play again. You know what? I accept. I will play.
I think like the first time I tried playing this, I couldn't even crack 10,000.
Okay.
I just died. I just lost one of my
Well,
men's.
that's a cool goal. I think I'll feel good if maybe I could do something like that. Ooh.
Uh-oh. I just let one of the invaders get to the village. This is not cool.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Dang. Okay. So all of these fire bolts crashing down from the sky are actually Ah!
I wish I could see your screen. I'm like, ah.
I'm like trying to make an announcement and all I can do is scream. Okay, so all of
I mean, I feel like I'm also gonna have this reaction. Wow. Okay. So wow. Ah.
Okay. So one of the things I wanted to say was apparently there was a solar flare or something that happened recently. So a lot of
Okay.
people have been having internet issues in our area. So if we experience that, that's what I'm gonna blame it on.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
with you.
trying again. I'm trying again.
Okay, 6,800. Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh. What is your high score, Ricky?
I think it's like 40,000 something. I was trying really hard to get remotely close to 55, but
Yes.
just what starts happening when you get. Oh my god. I'm just losing. So I'm. Oh. Just getting like really zoned into the game as soon as like there's six fireballs all like around you at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. Gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, the first time I ever played not Space Invaders, the first time I ever played Invaders was at a really cool conference in Winnipeg in 2017.
Okay.
And it was what was it? It was AbTech or Imaginary Indigenous Futures conference. And they had a whole day that was all indigenous developers and the games and artists who had like VR experiences and games to play. It was like pretty fun. They had this one and they had some really cool stuff. I can't remember who the developer was, but you fought off enemies by throwing bingo dabbers.
Bingo
Cool.
dabber.
Yeah.
That's
Like the angry auntie throwing bingo dampers. Actually, I think it was an uncle. I think it was an uncle.
And were they different colors? Like did they like splat out like colors or something? Or no?
I don't remember. I don't remember. That was a while ago. That was 16 million years ago in
Yeah,
pandemic years, and
I feel that. Yeah.
who knows in linear time.
Yeah, I hear that. Okay, I'm at 8,300.
That's awesome. I feel like now that I've been playing this consistently every couple weeks that I have an unfair advantage over new players.
No, well, I liked the again, that 10,000 goal. That's what I'm working at right now. Oh, 11. Oh my god, I'm 12. Okay.
Nice. You did it.
What's happening?
So the drop-ins, they're every week, and how has the kind of experience changed from in person to are you using Zoom or online or?
Yeah, we're using Zoom, and it's on it's online, folks. If people are interested, can email me for the link, and just send it out. It's not the same as in person, but it sure is awesome to get to see folks and just be, connect in those types of ways. Honestly, too, we've talked a lot about when we are like able to go like back in person again, having an online option. Just realizing like, yeah, there's you know lots of folks that can't make it to the whitewater that might want to participate, and honestly, people don't even have to turn on the video. Like, if you want your video audio off and you just want the experiences, whatever, you want from it, you're totally welcome. So I think that, truthfully, it really served as a reminder for me, like, okay, we're not we really try to be accessible, and it's just like, then maybe we should get a hybrid model. And that's
Yeah.
just for people who have internet. Like, anyway, but
That's
it's been nice.
Yeah, that's so true. Like our programming director Mitchell Ellum actually originally developed our Discord for accessibility purposes, not necessarily the pandemic. So we were just in a good
Oh,
position because of that. And
that's
the
amazing.
same
Mitchell's awesome.
totally.
Uh, just
Uh,
just shout out to Mitchell. Honestly,
yeah, for sure. And speaking of Mitchell, he's currently our artist takeover on the Instagram.
which I've
So
been loving.
it's so cool, isn't it? Oh, sorry, the
I
screaming.
know, same. I'm sweating for real.
So since I'm completely out of lives, I can now point. Our Instagram is just below both of us. Hey, Lindsay, point down. That's our Instagram right below us. So, um, if you want to see Mitchell's takeover, please check it out. It's really cool stuff.
It's so cool. And his cat friend Ollie makes an appearance as well, which is nice. Oh,
Starting from scratch over here.
what did you get to? Do you remember?
I think it was like 21.
Oh, nice.
I lost my middleman's. Okay.
Ah, I have a good go, and then I just really don't.
Sometimes it just means you need a break. And
Right.
there's nothing wrong with just not playing for a minute, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You don't have to. You don't got to do anything.
It is really fun though, so it's just like, yeah, that would probably be really helpful, but I just kind of want to keep going.
And when I play first person shooters, I am really thirsty, so I'm the kind of person who will just like rush into a space and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm dead now. I kamikazed. And that's just the way it is sometimes. Oh, wow. I just like bypassed a major zap, so that was cool.
Ooh.
So, from the folks that hang out in the collective, do you have any suggestions in terms of like pandemic survival strategies?
Ooh. Ah. I feel like that's such a good question. I feel like for me personally, it like switches. It's so individualized, right? Like, and I feel with all the shifts, sometimes like, speaking for myself, what works for me shifts, if that makes sense. So some days one thing feels good. It feels good to, like, I'm a musician, so it feels good to like write a song. Others days that just takes up a lot of energy. Um, but I will say, I think Open Studio is a good example. Like, I was feeling pretty zapped yesterday, and it is a lot of extra Zoom and stuff like that. But went to Open Studio, and it was really nice to see people and connect. And laugh a little bit and stuff, and
Oh yeah, best.
yeah, yeah. But I think just speaking for myself, kind of just listening to what and trusting what I feel I need that day. And sometimes it's a walk, and sometimes it's Netflix, to be honest.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And personally as an astrology nerd, I feel like
Yes.
during Taurus season, which I think we have 6 more days. 6 more days of.
I thought it too.
um,
6 more days. Yeah.
Tourists, they work so hard and they play hard or rest hard. So it's like I just find that I'm really like doing as much as I can for the gallery in the 9 to 5, and then as soon
Yeah.
as 5 hits, I'm like out. I am burnt out. I am like I want pasta, every
Yes.
single comfort food you can imagine,
Yes.
pizza,
Are you into potato
hamburgers.
chips?
What?
Are you into potato chips?
No, okay. I don't know if this is gonna I'm gonna get canceled. I'm gonna get completely like ejected from
Uh,
the community. But I hate potatoes. I don't know. Like
you know what?
they're so boring.
I have
I'm part Irish though, so I can say that, right?
totally, totally. That's okay. Um, no, I have at least one friend, but I want to say maybe two friends that also don't like potatoes. I think one doesn't like potatoes, but is coming around to them or something. Anyways, I I love potatoes, but I don't. It doesn't matter if you don't like potatoes. That's cool too. I just won't. I won't bring you potato chips. That's all.
Heck
I'll bring you
yeah.
something that you actually would want.
Oh my god, by the way, thank you for bringing me coffee this morning. That was so
Oh, you're
lovely.
welcome. You're so welcome.
Okay, okay, and that's actually my answer to pandemic survival tips
Right.
is bringing
Okay.
gifts to friends.
Oh,
And if that's not a porch side delivery, curbside delivery of a coffee, I'm
yeah.
a big pen paler. I like sending out packages of snacks
Ooh.
and cards and treats and whatever I got in my pantry that's comforting and awesome like that. And that's like a nice gift to my friend, but I really like it too.
Yeah,
Um,
that's beautiful.
that's my favorite thing. So
I love. It's funny because when you ask that too, I'm just like, it feels good to sometimes just personally like all the isolation, reaching out and stuff, and sometimes it's doing that too, right? Just like, hey, I know you still exist, and I'm so glad you do. And yeah,
yeah, totally. And also, like, I feel like for me and my friend group, it's also a little bit of like allowing them to not be perceived. Like, when you do not want to be perceived.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So sometimes it's checking in, and sometimes it's also not checking in.
Totally. Those are like such great friendships, right? Where there's like that pressure doesn't exist. You're just can just be whatever you need to like feel whatever you need to feel that day and know that there's no pressure to be any which way but yourself. Just be
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't that just sounded really maybe a bit too cheesy or something, but I didn't mean it to be
But
like meant it
it's
to be genuine.
true. It's one of those nuggets of
That's
wisdom that's just real. It's just
yeah,
real.
it's genuine, right?
Yeah, and I think like for myself, my own discovery of like the importance of like authenticity
Yeah.
is actually really important, and like some people might like kind of see me as this person who's always like forged an individual path, but I feel like I'm also one of those people who has been also really persuaded or felt pressures to be a certain way.
Right.
And like focusing on authenticity is just like how I stay happy. Because when
Love
I'm
that.
not authentic, I get really sad and it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, obviously you're super cool. I think you're super cool. And I think just yeah, being authentic and people know too. I'm a big believer that people know when you're being genuine and authentic, honestly. And yeah, if it feels good for you as well, it's like bonus.
Yeah, I think so.
See, I'm like, oh, I'll take a break after this one, but like, I love this.
I had some like not super high scoring rounds, but it's kind of like, yeah, like I said, I just like sometimes running in guns a blazing.
The rapid fire.
Oh
How long
yeah.
does that usually last? I haven't.
I actually
Or
don't know
okay,
the what is that called? Like the specs, the game notes, the
okay,
developers notes.
cool. Yeah,
That would actually be some really good insider information. I'll look into that.
I'm just wondering if there's a time limit because I know like some games have that where it's like Mario when you get the star.
It definitely doesn't last forever. Nothing
Okay,
in this world lasts forever, Lindsay. I'm just
I
kidding.
walked into that totally.
One of my favorite things, one of my favorite survival tactics is turning everything into a joke.
Okay, yeah, I can relate to that.
Cause it's,
Continue.
yeah, totally. So like, it's like, for example, um, yeah, cause like laughter is just like such good medicine, and it's also one of those things that kind of like disempowers oppressive forces. So
Mm,
in one of the, I think the first stream of this, we're kind of talking about myself on video and Mitch on text talking about like how this game is about invaders, and then these little characters are these little cartoons. So they're kind of like infantilizing the settlers and the colonizers in a way through that image.
right.
But like talking about making things a joke, it turns them into little 8-bit aliens. It's also kind of funny too, It's like
Okay, yeah.
this video game throwback, but it's like about invaders, and we know what that means and
But
what
you
it's
know, yeah,
referencing. But it's like
right,
these little cartoon sprites you're fighting
right.
and little fireballs and that cartoonish laser sound. Ah!
I have my sound down, but
It's such a
I
classic laser sound.
I love. Oh, here, like maybe can I just do it? Oh, okay, I'll have to do it. I'm like so invested in this game.
Excuse me. Ah! I coughed for 1 second. I coughed for 1 second,
And then boom.
and I'm dead. And I'm totally dead. Wow.
No. Uh. Okay.
Okay, so one of the things that all this like discussion about throwback video games has got me thinking about is some of the cool stuff that goes on in North Bay. And I'm a newbie, so I want to hear the insider scoops about the locals. And there was like some cool like maybe I think there was a few like throwback space photo shoot that happened at some point. Do you know about that
Oh,
story? Can you tell me that story?
absolutely. Yes. I feel like I don't want to. I wonder. So it's a holiday throwback portrait. But I feel like it's like Studio Nude Beach.
Nice, that's
Is
cool. They're awesome.
right. Oh, Studio Nude Beach is so great. Um, and so sorry, what happened? I'm like,
You died. And that's the great thing about
I'm sorry.
talking about your pals in the arts community while fighting off space invaders is that it's not going to be accurate. It's going to be secondhand gossip. But I want to hear it
Okay, yeah,
as
yeah.
an as a uninvited guest to the territory. I want to hear all the stories, all the histories of the community.
I'm just a big fan of Studio Nude Beach and holiday throwback portraits. They did one the year before too, and actually in a bookstore that I used to work at. It was no longer a bookstore. It was
Yeah.
Gulliver's down for a long time. So it's just cool to see folks and artists like yeah, animating those spaces again. Like it's pretty awesome. But yeah, Studio Nude Beach. Also with like River and Sky Festival. They did like so much set design for that, and like also a big fan of River and Sky Festival. Yeah, so yeah, Allison, Hannah, Eric, Ben. Hope I'm not missing anybody.
I
But
love
yeah, just
your relentless name drops. I'm
I know. I
here
just
for
feel
them.
that is like important to me. But I always get so nervous I'm gonna forget somebody. But I just feel better at least trying to like
Well, the
acknowledge
nice thing
like
is
who's
that
doing it.
yeah, for sure. The nice thing is that we have ongoing
Oh, okay. I'm going back
we,
in. I'm going back
yeah, totally. You can tell when I'm in because I just stop mid sentence to scream. Um, but the nice thing about having ongoing community conversations on Twitch is that if we do say something wrong, we can correct it next week or the week after.
Ah,
Or invite maybe Studio Nude Beach will come hang out sometime.
yeah.
I feel like they'd be so down to play video games.
I something tells me that you may be right there.
I know. I love how we're just like they're not even here and we're just promoting them. Okay, so
Oh yeah, big fans.
what else
Shout
is
out from
cool?
rooftops.
What else is cool in
I,
North Bay?
what else is cool in North Bay? Oh, you're asking me. You know, I do miss the live music scene. Obviously, being a musician, I miss going to see my friends and you know new friends or strangers. Just playing live and writing new stuff and having. I mean, people are writing obviously, but it'd be nice to hear it live and without a delay. I am really looking forward to harmonizing again. I don't know if I told you this. I was co-running a community drop-in choir here in town. Did I
Whoa,
tell you that?
cool. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so we used to meet every Wednesday and in like an hour or so um, facilitate this choir, like your favorite, whatever, like pop songs. And it's just lyrics on a
That's
sheet.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it's similar to like what choir is in Toronto, but we didn't have anything like that here. There's lots of great choirs here though too, and theater. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something like really cool and unique. It's not like there are things that are very cool and unique,
Well,
but
I wanna actually circle back to something you talked a little bit
yeah,
about because you talked about River and Sky. Ah!
sorry,
And
there's so much fire in my
I
throat.
know, it's like I'm not even over 10,000 right now in my game, and I'm already screaming. Um, but yeah, so I know you really will, Lindsay. But just for our viewers at home, why don't you talk a little bit about your music career,
Sure.
outside of Art Fix, as well as your cool band, the Peach Pack Band, because you were
Yeah.
supposed to play at River and Sky, is my understanding. So I'd like to hear you talk
Yeah.
about all of that more.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I've always been in music, like, you know, like voice lessons, and I did a lot of community theater and stuff like that. Always wrote songs just kind of for myself, really. I just wouldn't share them as kind of my form of journaling as a kid. Got me through a lot of stuff. Um, and anyways, fast forward, I did go to school to become a social worker. Just always wanting to keep the music part like fun and didn't quite, I don't think, know what to do with it. Anyways, 2019, I graduated with my Master of Arts in Community Music, which seemed to be a pretty awesome fit. Yeah, and really love that program. And as recently as last night, just connecting with folks that are in that program and seeing what some folks are doing, and they're giving me feedback and stuff and helping me out with something. So, anyways, and then played a lot of like you know, and like backing vocals in bands and duos and stuff like that. But then enter Peach Pack, which is super fun. I get to play rock music with, you know, my best friend. And it's just really awesome. It's really fun to create together. I think it's a really special friendship when you get to make art together, if you enjoy making art. Um, and I feel like we write really well together when we jam, which is because it just feels like kind of like, you know, it's a lot of improv, it's a lot of feeling like where is this going, anticipating where it's going. But we haven't obviously been able to jam, so I don't know. I think the best is yet to come with that project. Um, But oh my gosh, I've never used pedals before. Do you ever use pedals or effects or anything like that? I don't
Um,
know.
like only like not the hardware IRL, except for I have a vocal processor that has
Oh,
a
oh,
bunch of pedal like stuff into it.
we
But
need to
I'm like
talk
a
about that.
wannabe gearhead. I'm a wannabe gearhead. So did you start experimenting with pedals during COVID?
Yes. And I would still say I'm still a wannabe in a lot of ways because it's like each one is like learning a new, like this is just me. I feel like learning a new instrument and what it's going to do to the tone. I'm kind of, I feel like building a reputation where I just turn the gain up on all the pedals so that it just sounds like, but wait, that isn't very rock and roll,
I'm
but
all about echo and delay. That's mine.
oh,
Vaporwave,
totally,
vaporwave style.
totally, totally. I feel
Shoegaze
like,
wannabe, or what does Zune call it? Moccasin gaze wannabe.
oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, they're a cool band. That would be a really cool person to play video games with. Is Zune.
Zoom?
Yeah, and their record was like produced or not produced, mastered, or some kind of audio engineering jargon that I don't understand as a lowly folk musician. Um, but my friend Riley Hill, who also goes under the name the Emu, worked on their most recent album, which is like cool. The
Whoa.
connections are always so neat.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Um,
Do you
yeah.
write music too?
So
Like make
yes, funny facts for North Bay about my weird multidisciplinary background. So I have
love
actually
it.
toured Canada a couple times in
Cool.
like I don't know, folk punk slash ragtime band, which I'm actually incredibly embarrassed about. Not because I didn't like my fellow bandmates, which were wonderful, but I kind of hate the genre now. I'm all folked out, you know? It's
Yeah.
just it's a thing. Um oh my gosh, my game is glitching. I have officially
Mine
defeated
was a
the
little bit
invaders.
too.
Oh, no, maybe it's just my internet.
But that's what I think it is. I don't think it's a game. I think it's my internet because well, as I say, I think it is. There's something on my computer. I need to do a little bit of like figuring out what I need to put on a hard drive on this puppy. Um, it literally is like the web page is using significant memory, but it does that when I open my email. Like I know.
Well, did
I
your okay, this is like the nerd coming out. I'm just like, is your RAM
please.
card a little jostled out of place? Maybe you just gotta poke that back in.
Oh, I love that advice.
I actually whoa, what did the arrows always fall like this? Did something Okay, anyway,
Oh,
something strange is happening. I'm so confused. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I actually need some RAM for my beefy bad boy computer, um, because I run a virtual reality system, and it just so freaking powerful. That
for your
even with
computer?
my yeah, even with my giant computer, I barely meet the minimum specs for virtual reality.
You know, I've never tried it, and the gallery did have something. Well, now I forgot the artist's name. It
Well,
was
you want to know what's
Cluster.
fantastic, and this is
Yeah.
actually somewhat relevant, is
Okay.
we have a beautiful archive on our website.
Ah.
I don't know which I was just you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Beatabon, First Light
Yeah.
VR. Yeah, so I just brought it up. So this was November 2nd to December 7th. Um, that was last year. An interactive virtual reality film directed by Lisa Jackson, 3D art by Matthew Borrett, and produced by the National Film Board. I didn't get a chance to see this one, but it looked so cool. It looked Or was
Yeah.
that
I missed
2019?
that.
I think it was 2019 because it must have been
I was just gonna
pre-COVID.
say, I'm like, that's why I was quiet. I was like, what am I thinking of? Because it was when we were in person at the gallery. Yeah, in
We
person at the
can't
gallery.
share we can't share VR sets yet. Otherwise, I would have offered. Anyway.
Right, but I can't wait for that day. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm really looking forward to that because I know, like,
Oh, yes. I have a weird proposition. So I'm a really big fan uh of the way that people interact with each other is so different, and I think it's because like a lot of neurodiverse people have already been in these spaces forever. Um
right,
and a lot of the friends that I make in
right.
these spaces are neurodiverse friends. I'm gonna give myself a minute on this game to talk about a couple of these places because they're really strange and really neat. Kind of like just uncanny valley style experiences because I think like a lot of people know about like Second Life, which is like really old tech now. Another old tech platform that's a lot more accessible in terms of user interface and you can just download on your phone is IMVU. Um,
Okay.
but it's an old tech one. And I thought like wouldn't it be funny to like see if a bunch of like um Whitewater Gallery friends would want to have a little meetup in one of these like just silly spaces. What's another one? Okay, so
I
VR
just
chat.
googled it.
Yeah. So VR chat is another free one and like it implies that you have a virtual reality system, but VR chat you can actually use a desktop version. You can boot it up in a desktop mode. So even if you don't have a headset, you can still play it and interact with people in this digital world. And this is also VR chat was one of my pandemic coping mechanisms because I love dancing and I love EDM and I love going to the clubs. So like right before the pandemic, I got to see a Tribe Called Red in Sudbury. Thank goodness, because I was like, it satisfied that.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, totally. Um, but then I was like, oh, like I miss dancing, and so dressed up as a weasel avatar. I started going to VR chat clubs, and there's DJs in there, and they gained notoriety, and there's other people dancing. Except instead of in like really cool club clothes, they might be like in a SpongeBob outfit, or
Like,
like
I'm looking at a banana right now.
totally. And what I think is the most fun thing about VR chat is the fact that like it has a lot of games that people are familiar with, but adapted to this 3D environment. So like 2 nights ago, with some of my internet friends, we were playing Cooking Fever, but inside of like a 3D environment. So we were like frying up hamburgers and like trying to make pizzas. It was
That,
just
oh,
I
I would
laughed
love
so
to do that.
hard. I laughed so hard, and it's like the there's like knives to chop things up and frying pans to fry things up, and there's someone on dishwasher duty, like, and there's
Oh,
a timer, so it's really stressful. But what else is there? Do you remember the internet sensation Slender Man?
I do remember that. Yes, I do.
It was terrifying enough in like 2D by yourself. You're like collecting these paper notes and this like creature in a suit is like chasing you through the whole thing, and every time he gets
Bleh.
close, the screen starts to get all fuzzy and stuff. And imagine that in a VR headset with your friends, and as he catches you, your friends disappear and you can't hear them anymore. So
What?
it is so scary. I have been like the last
That's where I
person.
would like literally run into a wall.
I've never been interested in the horror genre, but like
Yeah.
in VR, it seems like it would actually be so scary, and I want to try
Cool.
it.
Yeah. Okay, so you haven't tried it before.
I did the Slender Man one.
You did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And
yeah.
like I said, I was the last one surviving, so I was like alone and I couldn't hear any of my friends. But it was even cooler because at the beginning, like some people had flashlights, but like some people couldn't figure out how to pick them up. So like some people didn't have flashlights in the dark. and we're all like running, and like he's right behind us, so we ended up like splitting off into two groups, and we honestly didn't see that other group for 20 minutes, so we thought that they got caught, but then we like regrouped. It was so
That
wild. It was so
that is
wild.
wow. And is there like strategy to that? Like, or is it kind of like a game? Yeah, okay.
Never stop running.
Yeah. Just keep running. Just go. Go, go, go.
Okay, go go go. One more. Let's do it.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this feels like it's been 15 minutes and I was
It
so
went
like
by so
nervous.
fast. It went by
I
so
was
fast.
so nervous. And now I'm like, okay.
There's so much to cover, and one of the things I want to make sure that we talk about while there's still the um anxiety inducing edge of playing the game is I'd really love you to talk about your iPad program.
Sure. Yeah, thanks. So Artfix received funding from the Ontario Arts Council um, so that we could I think I talked about earlier that like yeah, Zoom's good if you have the internet sort of thing. In person was great. You know, a hybrid model would be kind of cool. But what about folks that don't have reliable access to internet or internet at all, or access to a computer or device or anything? So yeah, the OAC has given us we can hire 4 artists in the community, and they will do their amazing art workshops and have them recorded, and they'll go online. I don't know if we'll use Vimeo or YouTube, but we'll figure it out. So folks can stream those workshops online, but also there's money to buy tablets so we can upload the workshops and then distribute them to folks. So if anybody watching is somebody or knows somebody who may want a tablet with art workshops on it, you should I say my email? Like, what do I do?
If
Should
you
I?
feel comfortable, because it's a public
Yeah,
email for Artfix anyway, you can throw it up in the
yeah.
chat.
Okay, cool. So it's art.fix.training@gmail.com. I'm Linz. I'm who you'll be emailing. And yeah, we'd love to get these iPads to folks that would like them. And that's also like if someone is like working at an organization is like, listen, I can't think of someone today, but I know it'd be cool to have one to offer to somebody as it kind of comes up in conversation. Also, I want to say that the health unit has generously made a donation so we can, if folks want art supplies like an art kit, we can arrange for an art kit to also be delivered with the tablet. So we're not just giving folks tablets and then it's like cool, but it'd be nice to have some paints and paintbrushes and canvas too, right? Or beads and that sort of thing. So yeah.
That was me losing the
But
game, not the
I
amazing program that you just described.
oh,
Uh,
I'm so excited. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be cool.
yeah,
Hope
absolutely.
and you know what's really great too because now we'll have gear to be able to keep on trying to spread what am I trying to say? I'm still in game mode. I still have like these tools to be able to distribute art workshops in the future too. You know what I mean? Like now we have tablets and um yeah, it's just really fun. So but we can't film yet because of the stay-at-home order. So um we are just waiting like everybody else. Okay. You sorry, Ricky. Can't
Um,
hear you. Oh,
I
I
know.
couldn't hear you.
I just muted myself. So,
Oh,
sorry about that. But what I was just saying is that it's a quarter two now, so we're in the decompression stage. of
Cool.
playing Invaders, and we're letting our heart rates go back to normal. So I caught you up on everything that I said while I muted myself. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, so this time I can't believe how fast this one went. Like I feel like it was a total time tunnel. Um,
Same.
like wow.
Yeah. So thank you. I've like you made this honestly a really comfortable space for me for
Oh,
people
that's
tuning
good.
in. I was really nervous.
Yeah, and it was really funny. I like totally accomplished my goal of like not caring about score because I don't actually know what my high
Cool.
score was today, to be
Oh,
honest. I didn't even pay attention.
16,500.
Awesome. Well, you beat your
Okay.
10,000 goal, so check that off on the evaluation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so oh man. This is like I'm like one of those people who needs like 10 minutes like reorient my brain between doing different things. Like otherwise I get like so disorientated. Like is that a common thing?
Totally. Well, I don't know if it's common, but I can definitely relate. And even like I was listening to this voice person that like in Toronto talking about because I teach music too,
Mhm.
and or like I like to say facilitate, but
Yeah.
anyways, they were just talking about like taking time. Like sometimes people go from one thing to the next. Like that's so often what we do, and just talking about the benefits of just taking some time before going into the next thing, and then yeah, I can definitely relate to yeah, when the workday ends, I just need some time. And after something like that, I need some time too. But it was fun.
It was so
Yeah.
tense. Okay,
What
I gotta bother you one more time to write out your
ever.
email.
Sure. It's
um
art
yeah,
dot
dot
fix
fix
dot training
at Gmail.
at gmail.com. Yeah. I hope that's
Okay,
what I
cool.
told you before. I just recited that. I'm like, I don't know if I told you like I don't know. My brain was playing the game.
No, you totally did it. There you
Okay,
go.
good. Art.fix.training at gmail.com. Yeah. And
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, I do my best to answer people as timely as possible. I do check my the spam folder too because I think sometimes that happens. And then the only days I'm not usually in the office, but a lot of like depends on the Friday is Fridays, but you'll hear from me if you email me.
Yeah, like no admin work on a Friday, but you can play some video games and
Oh,
stream on Twitch.
yes,
That's all right.
please. Yeah, absolutely. Like with honestly pleasure. Like that was so fun, and honestly, a really cool way to interact and be asked questions. Like anyway, again, audience, I was very nervous, so I feel like the outcome was fun.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you enjoyed yourself because it is really like high pressure to try and like
Yeah.
answer questions and heck, answer or ask them. Like I was like
Yes.
halfway through asking a question and I just like scream. Um,
Yeah.
when we first did this, Ange, one of the Whitewater Gallery's board members, was just like teasing me. Was it Ange? Yeah, I think it was Ange. Was just teasing me at all the times. I was just like yelping and screaming, like trying to dodge all the things that were coming down in the game.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
feel I feel that for sure. I'm gonna do like some like shoulder rolls and stuff with all the
Oh,
tension that's like
that's actually such a good idea. That's
yeah.
like that ongoing meme that's like actually great advice. It's always like release your jaw, relax your shoulders.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
Friday, my guys. Relax your shoulders, drink some water.
That's right. I have my water. Mhm.
Actually, you know what? I was thinking that it would be really cool to see if there was some folks in town that would be interested in hosting an active hour or like I don't know. I was thinking maybe on like a lunch break I could become a fitness instructor on Twitch cuz I feel like
This needs
that's
to happen now. You
I
you say
I
these things and I'm like,
So here's the thing,
okay,
like
sign me up.
I always wanted that to happen with like the Powatomic exhibition that the Whitewater
Yes,
Gallery hosted for my work in
yes.
2019.
That's
Um
how I know you. Yeah.
yeah, and like my vision in my head was that and I didn't ask for this, but this was like the vision in my head was like yoga instructors would come in and do like freeform goth yoga in the pink lights with like witch house playing, like just like really like fun stuff like that. So I that's I it's
I
like
mean,
things I
now
want
I'm
to
just
go to.
yeah, I'm just hopeful that I'm gonna get a Google Calendar invite next week to that. I mean, that's what
1
I'm here
a.m.
for.
goth yoga to witch house. bring
Right.
your bring your own galaxy light.
I love that.
Oh
Oh, I
man.
love that.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me of one and only time that I was in New York City. We
Oh
were staying with
cool.
some friends, and there are the person we were staying with was found out about like this like it was going to be like a secret, I guess, party sort of thing, and you they didn't give you the address. You had to like I don't know the details of it, so I shouldn't talk. But what I do remember is the instruction was bring a source of light, and so we just found some like glow sticks or whatever, and we found this. It was like in I think it was Brooklyn, and I think it was I like a shipping container like area or whatever. Anyways, it was pretty cool. And then you go in and there's all these like artists and stuff like that. And it was really cool. But yeah, that just reminded me of that. Just like bring a source of light. I'm like, I've been asked this before.
Yeah, that stuff is so fun and it's so
Yeah.
cool that you brought it up because I feel like the a lot of people don't really know this, but like a lot of my event coordination and arts admin came from like party planning as a youth. So like
Cool.
making up weird stuff like that, and a lot of my friends are involved with like the Northern Vibe Festival around the Algoma region.
Cool.
And just like a lot of people from other festivals coming around and talking about these like art happenings or art experiences that were created at these moments in time. So I can't remember which festival this one story came from. I'm pretty sure it was one like somewhere in the Greenbelt, but it
Okay.
was you got a map and there was like art sites everywhere on the map that you can go to the festival, kind of like how Burning Man has big art installations and that Shambhala has big art installations and all these places have these art installations. Up here has art installations on a map.
Right.
Um
Right.
but it was like the details and the descriptions of it wasn't listed and this one was like in the middle of the bush. So you really had to like kind of dig around to get into it. And then once you arrived, it's a fake alien crash landing site with professional actors as both aliens and terrified people.
Yeah.
So,
You know I'm into that.
you emerge to this scene of people acting like genuinely terrified. So you can just imagine like that it's such a cool experience.
Oh yeah.
um and I just
That's
I
so cool.
yeah, and I love the general creativity of yeah, creating an experience, It's so neat like
Yes.
again my training comes from like Studio Y in the Mars Discovery District, and we had a little retreat to get to know each other when we first started. And I remember one of the activities was create a 20-minute experience. And that was like it.
Cool.
And we had some really funny people on our team, so we made people do really awkward stuff, like stare at each other in the eyes for like a minute, and we did it on a hillside on blankets, and it was really
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And another team, the team that made my favorite thing, they made a natural outdoor museum. So you
Cool.
go, and this guy has a fake bow tie on and a little clipboard, and he's like, when you're entering the museum, you can only speak in questions. So you're only allowed to say like what, where, when, why, how, or no, it was vowels. That's what it was. It was you can only say O E I O U Y or whatever. Look at me knowing my alphabets and words. Anyway,
Yeah.
so like when you're
Nice.
and then you'd go through this like it's just like a path in the forest, but what they had done is that they had taken like twigs and they had tied together like wooden frames around certain natural dioramas and then given them cheeky names. So there's like this tree with a little bit of moss on it, and they put a frame in front of it and made some joke about Loch Ness monster because like the way it framed it looked like the body. It was just like it was really cute and it was really playful, and I remember it kind of like made me act like a child because I was running through it, and
Mm,
um we're all going, "Ooh, ah,
uh,
why?" You know? um,
oh, cool.
so it's just like totally like silly, like ridiculous things that are really cool. Another thing that I like, because I'm kind of, I was talking about working out and yoga. I'm like definitely like kind of a sporty person. And I remember feeling really inspired. I watched this one friend of mine's kid because we were all having like a backyard BBQ in the summer, back in the before times.
Yes,
And
before
yeah, my friend's daughter came up with this like this homemade version of soccer that was like uh, three goalies in a triangle all trying to block the goal. It was like amazing, and I was just
cool.
like, I want to see like a whole like Olympic event designed and facilitated by children. You
I love
know?
that. Just the reimagining, yeah, reimagining like existing things and then what they would come up with. Like,
And it doesn't need to work.
um,
Like if it doesn't work, it's even funnier.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's an incredible idea. I think that that would be so fun, so
Yeah.
fun,
It's
and just like
cuz kids
yeah,
are brilliant. That's why.
that's the thing. Kids, their minds are just like just so cool. Just like looking at things in ways that like maybe we used to look at it, but just yeah, just so refreshing. Oh,
Yeah.
and then I think adults should participate in the kids Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely. Like making us compete in these like strange rules. It was really fun cuz like it wasn't just kids playing that three-person soccer game. It was like my friend's kid and then two guys all trying to actually win, getting actually a little competitive.
Right, yeah. Totally,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. This is really fun. It's like some sort of like, I don't know, just wacky game and that's like, I got you.
Yeah, I'm really excited for when we can all get together and play experimental sport games together. And just like get
Awesome.
together in general. But it's really exciting how you're creating accessible options like in this time where we can't get together, whether it's online or getting your hands on one of those iPads with preloaded workshops. That sounds like such an awesome opportunity, and I'm glad that there's folks that are like on the sidewalks, pounding the pavement, doing this work in North Bay. It makes me so proud to have moved here. I really like it,
Yay.
and thank you for gossiping about your cool friends at Studio Nude Beach. And yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Studio New Beach. Have I told anybody that yet? Yeah,
Yeah. So this is really great, Lindsay. Is
yeah.
there anything
And
you want to say before we sign off?
just thank you so much. And this was really fun and got me out of my comfort zone. Like I have anxiety and stuff. So it was pretty cool. I do like challenging myself for that. And yeah, just I'm also super grateful to work with an amazing collective like ArtFix, Nipissing, and with the Whitewater Gallery. So lots of shifts this year. Lots of shifts this year. But just yeah, it's cool to work with the collective and with you and everybody at the Whitewater. So yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you. And it's 5 o'clock, so see everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye.
Bye.